Here's today's In Touch devotion.
Today's scripture reading begins in verse 1 of Exodus chapter 4. Then Moses said, "What if they will not believe me or listen to what I say? For they may say, 'The Lord has not appeared to you.' The Lord said to him, 'What is that in your hand?' And he said, 'A staff.' Then he said, 'Throw it on the ground.' So he threw it on the ground, and it turned into a serpent, and Moses fled from it. But the Lord said to Moses, 'Reach out with your hand and grasp it by its tail.' So he reached out with his hand and caught it, and it turned into a staff in his hand, so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you." The Lord furthermore said to him, "Now put your hand inside the fold of your robe." So he put his hand inside the fold, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous, like snow. Then he said, "Put your hand inside the fold of your robe again." So he put his hand into the fold again, and when he took it out of the fold, behold, it was restored, like the rest of his flesh. So if they will not believe you, nor pay attention to the evidence of the first sign, they may believe the evidence of the last sign. But if they will not believe even these two signs, nor pay attention to what you say, then you shall take some water from the Nile and pour it on the dry ground. And the water which you take from the Nile will turn into blood on the dry ground. Then Moses said to the Lord, "Please, Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither recently, nor in time past, nor since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." But the Lord said to him, "Who has made the human mouth? Or who makes anyone unable to speak or deaf, or able to see or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now then, go, and I myself will be with your mouth, and instruct you in what you are to say." But he said, "Please, Lord, now send the message by whomever you will." Then the anger of the Lord burned against Moses, and he said, "Is there not your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know that he speaks fluently, and moreover, behold, he is coming out to meet you. When he sees you, he will be overjoyed. So you are to speak to him and put the words in his mouth, and I myself will be with your mouth and his mouth, and I will instruct you in what you are to do. He shall speak for you to the people, and he will be as a mouth for you, and you will be as God to him. And you shall take in your hand this staff with which you shall perform the signs."
In yesterday's devotion, we discussed how Moses doubted God's calling to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. But the Lord graciously provided reassurance through wondrous signs and promised to help his servant accomplish everything, no matter how impossible it might seem. Moses wasn't eloquent, and his inability to speak well left him feeling inadequate. So God reassured him by saying, "I myself will be with your mouth and instruct you in what you're to say." Remember, the Lord looks at the heart, not human qualifications, which is why the people he chooses to carry out his plan often seem unlikely. What's more, God can also overcome all our inadequacies. That's what he did by calling Moses' brother Aaron to go along and proclaim the God-given message. The Lord had an answer for each one of Moses' concerns, and he will likewise help those of us who are believers overcome obstacles when we follow him. As we step out in obedience, our trust in God grows, and we're able to leave the outcome, whatever it may be, to him. Then, as the faith barriers in our life are demolished, we'll be able to see the evidence of God's presence and power. Not only that, but we will also experience the joy of submitting to his perfect will.